I'm Mike from St. Thomas Economic Development, here with another little update. Our last video was looking back at 2025. This week, we want to look forward at 2026 at some of the big projects that we're excited about and that you'll be able to look forward to coming up in 2026. And two of the big ones are right over each of my shoulders. Obviously, PowerCo continuing their construction. They've got a lot of concrete and rebar going into the ground right now. We're excited to get back on site with them soon to get you a more detailed update. But we're going to see in the next few months ongoing concrete work, lots of steel erection. That project's going to go very fast. It is rolling now, and we're excited to keep watching that. And over my other shoulder, Vianode building their ViaTwo graphite facility here in St. Thomas at the northeast corner of the Yarmouth Yards Industrial Park. They are very close as well to getting rolling on some internal servicing inside their site, and that project we also expect to move very quickly. They're staffing up here, but I hope more and more we can get some Vianode folks on the Beehive as well to hear what they're planning, what they're doing, and how that construction is going to progress. On the city side, this year we're looking forward to the beginning of the D-WRF project, as we call it internally. This is the Dalewood Water Reclamation Facility, or the new wastewater treatment facility that's being built in St. Thomas on the north side of the city. That's going to be a big project that's going to provide us the sewer needs that we need now, but also for decades into the future. It's a huge infrastructure project, great for the future growth and development of the city and the region. And next week, we're going to be on site there with the one and only Pat Anckaert, and we're going to learn all about the beginnings of that project and what we can expect as time goes on. And Graydon will maybe flash up a few of the renderings that hopefully Justin lets us use for this video. Work will be ongoing at the pumping station at the far southeast of the Yarmouth Yards Park. Basically, that pumping station, super deep hole, we've been there. You saw the culvert that was going in. That's the drainage point, the natural drainage point for about 2/3 of the site. And so all of the wastewater flows will go there and then be pumped out. So we've seen the pit that's there, but there's going to be building work ongoing there and eventually pumps going in and other commissioning this year at that pumping station. Another exciting thing this year is that we should see the development of a Yarmouth Yards sign that you'll be able to see on Highbury as you approach the entrance to the park, to the Yarmouth Yards Industrial Park at Edgware Line. So that'll be set back a fair ways from the road, but it'll be very large in a stormwater pond, but with pedestrian access to it, so you can go and take your photo with the giant sign. So we're very excited to see work go on that project and get interesting signage for people coming into the city and even just driving by or coming into the park. This year in 2026, there's also going to be lots more rail work going on. I don't know if you saw our last video, but we didn't pound the golden spike in yet because the project's not done. Hopefully that'll be this year. Hopefully we'll get to drive that golden spike. That'll be very interesting. But mostly this year, the ongoing rail work is the rail yard. So the spur coming in and over the bridge will open into a rail yard for storage and offloading, etc. And so that work will be ongoing this year and most likely wrapping up sometime later this year. Hydro One is also working very quickly on building the substation that's in Yarmouth Yards. The first transmission line coming off of Highbury is substantially complete. It's looking great. The work there is going very well. Likely this year, we'll see the beginning of construction for the second transmission line connecting the substation here in Yarmouth Yards to the Buchanan station in South London, which will provide a huge amount of power to the city and to the industrial park here in St. Thomas. Much of the road network in Yarmouth Yards is complete now, but there are still a few places that need a bit more work. And so you'll see some work this year, continuation along a little bit of technology trail with some servicing, and as well the pedestrian connection under the rail bridge will be completed this year. In addition to everything we're expecting on Yarmouth Yards this year, in other parts of the city, we can expect some other projects external to Yarmouth Yards that are going to go on this year and that will have some impact in the city. So we've talked already about the Dalewood Water Reclamation Facility. Next week, we'll have lots more info on that. But the big one this year is going to be sewer and water upgrades on Talbot Street. Between First and Fairview, continuing some of the work that happened underneath the ground at the Fairview and Talbot intersection. This is again going to be the case where There will absolutely be traffic impacts. The city will do everything possible to mitigate those impacts, keep traffic flowing as much as possible. These are necessary upgrades that we have to do to expand capacity in the city. As well, on Woodworth Avenue, we were at the Woodworth pumping station a few weeks ago now. We'll be back there again, but there will be work going on to connect that into the lines under South Edgware for that pumping. And then in tandem with MTO's work on Highway 3, there are a number of service servicings of sewer and water that go underneath Highway 3. And those, as the road are expanded, this is a good opportunity to fix those. Those are all 50 years old or older. That's pretty old for water and sewer. So rather than, in 10 years have to tear up Highway 3 and rebuild them, the right thing to do is to fix those now. So those as well will try to minimize impact, but there will be some impacts, likely short closures of Highway 3 at a few times in order to build those services underneath. We're also expecting a lot of ongoing activity from MTO this year with their Highway 3 project. So they've already begun a lot of work on the Talbotville bypass section of that project. They've done a lot of earthworks inside St. Thomas on our city bypass to prepare for widening that road. They're working on the Colonel Talbot interchange. And so that work will all continue and over the next few years culminate in a fantastic highway connection for St. Thomas and for Yarmouth Yards to 401. Thank you everyone so much for watching our videos. Please like our videos on YouTube and don't forget to
smash that subscribe button.